Japanese RPGs have seen a major resurgence with the release of exceptional titles such as Final Fantasy XV and Persona 5. With those games now being in the past, it's time to look at the upcoming JRPGs. And in this video, we're going to be going over 10 amazing upcoming Japanese RPGs. Let's get right into this. Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy XII was one of the Final Fantasy games that got a mixed reception, and I can understand that to an extent, but the game still had a lot of great elements, and now it's being remastered onto the PlayStation 4 in the form of the Zodiac Age. It'll feature better visuals, refinements to the gameplay, etc. For those of you that missed out on FF12, check it out. It's not perfect, but there's a lot to like. Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age comes to PS4 on July 11th.
Pirate Gods! Yeah!
It's hard to leave the past behind.
I do know. All too well.
Attain it I shall. For too long have my deeds gone unrewarded.
Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom. The first Ni no Kuni title was arguably one of the best games of all of last generation. It had a fantastic art style, great gameplay, and a strong world and story. Now we have Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom, which looks to be following in the footsteps of the last game. The story follows a king who sets to reclaim his kingdom, and from what we've seen so far, it's shaping up very well. Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom is scheduled for a release this year on PC and PS4. Digimon Story: Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Digimon games have seen a resurgence in the States, and that's continuing with the latest game, Digimon Story: Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, which is a sequel to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. That game was a well-developed traditional JRPG. These titles are developed for both Vita and PlayStation 4, so from a technical standpoint, there is a lot more to be desired if you're playing on the PS4. This title will feature a new story and an increased roster of Digimon. Digimon Story: Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory is still a long ways out, set for a release stateside in 2018. Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts has been one of the most beloved franchises for north of 15 years. Ever since the release of Kingdom Hearts 2, fans have been clamoring for a third game. Yeah, we've seen some spin-offs and a few games adding to the story, but not a full third entry, which is what Kingdom Hearts 3 will obviously be. Technically, the game looks phenomenal utilizing the Unreal Engine 4, and the story should be as gripping as ever. Who knows when the game will be released? 2017 seems completely off the table. 2018 or maybe even 2019 seems more realistic. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Monolith Soft has become one of the core developers for Nintendo, working on the Xenoblade franchise. Xenoblade Chronicles was great, Xenoblade Chronicles X was tremendous, and now we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch, serving as a sequel to Chronicles starring a new character. The most stark difference about the game is the art style, being more anime chibi-like, which is probably going to turn a lot of people off. Even still, Monolith Soft will probably deliver something great with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 when it releases in 2017. Ys 8. Ys has been one of the more consistent JRPG franchises The games aren't completely 10 out of 10s, but they are very good, featuring quality gameplay, story, and content. Ys 8 is the latest game in the franchise being released for Vita, PS4, and PC. The game has already been reviewed in Japan and it's got relatively good reviews. We won't be seeing the game stateside until the fall.
で無人島と聞くとちょっと小さな舞台なのかなというふうに想像されるかもしれないですけれども、もうシリーズ最大級の、ボリュームで、アドルの冒険が新たに展開されます。それからゲームシステムの方もですね、本作ならではのこれまでのイースに全くなかったような、バトルのシステムであるとか、そういったものも、ふんだんに搭載されていますので、ぜひ楽しみにしてくださればと思っております。この IS8 なんですけれども、プラットフォームの方がプレイステーション4、それからプレイステーションビータ、それから Steam の方で、2017年の秋発売になります。英語とフランス語で
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ever since 2005, when Sony decided to show off theoretical gameplay of Final Fantasy VII running on the PlayStation 3 and how it would look, fans were dying to see a full remake of the game. Years would go by and nothing until E3 of 2015, where it was finally announced that Final Fantasy VII would be remade for the PlayStation 4. And the footage we've seen so far has looked absolutely incredible. The one controversial point regarding the game is that it'll be released in multiple parts. Considering how huge of a game FF7 was and that the devs don't want to cut any content, it's kind of understandable, but we'll have to hear more details to form a final opinion. Some new content and refined designs will be included, but exact details haven't been revealed. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is still a ways out with no official release date. Hopefully we'll see it in 2018.
Doing this for the planet, same as us.
Not interested.
When? Get back here! Okay, let's move.
Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. After the release of Fire Emblem Fates last year, the series is having a quick turnaround with the release of Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, which is a full remake of the 1992 title Fire Emblem Gaiden. That game never saw a release in the States. It was also considered to be the black sheep of the series, but considering the recent entries the developers have put out, it's hard to imagine the game being anything but great. Dragon Quest XI. Dragon Quest is finally receiving a brand new main entry in Dragon Quest XI, and it's got a lot of potential. It features the similar turn-based battle system, which to some may be a little dated, but it's still a competent enough system. The graphical style will vary based on what platform you play on. It'll be releasing on 3DS and PS4 first, and then on the Switch. The PS4 version will be very graphically impressive, running on the Unreal Engine 4. DQ11 doesn't have a release date stateside. It'll be coming in Japan on July 29th. Hopefully we see it here by early next year. finally, Valkyria Revolution. Valkyria Revolution is the latest in the Valkyria series, however, it's a spin-off to the Chronicles games, which is disappointing. It features vastly different gameplay than Chronicles strategy-based gameplay. From a technical standpoint, it's fairly tame. It is releasing on Vita, so that'll limit its potential. Hopefully it turns out to be something good, because just being tied to the Valkyria name will give gamers high hopes. We'll find out on June 27th when it releases for PS4, PS Vita, and Xbox One. So that concludes 10 amazing upcoming JRPGs. What do you think? Which JRPGs are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and